Welcome. Come inside. Have a seat. The witching hour is upon us. It's time to remove the old cobwebs from the book. Let the sounds and the stories take you deep into the forest where the nightmares await you. This week's episode is entitled The Cabin, Part 1. The story you're about to hear takes place on a stormy night back in 1983. A young lady by the name of Lisa decided she was going to take a 3-day vacation. Her vacation would take place inside an old cabin that sits in the Uwharrie National Forest. Lisa was going through some rough times in her life, and she thought she was going to be alone for a few days. Would make her feel better. What Lisa didn't know was that when she got to the cabin, she was going to be far from alone. Lisa pulls into a gas station located on Highway 109. As she pulls into the station, the young man walking behind the counter comes out to her car. "Would you like for me to fill it up?" he asked. "No, I'm just here to see Jason. He has the keys to the cabin for me." The young man pats the top of the car and says, "Sure, I'll go get him. I'll be right back." Lisa looks around at the station while waiting on the young man, thinking to herself, "I wish he would hurry up. I'd like to get to the cabin before it gets dark." The young man comes back out and walks over to the window and says, "Here's your keys. And by the way, that man standing in the door, that is Jason." Lisa waves her hand at Jason, and he just nods his head. "Is there anything else you need, by the way?" Lisa replies no, and then drives away. As the young man watches her taillights fade away in the distance, Jason walks out of the station. "Was she alone?" Jason asked. "I didn't see anyone else in the car with her," he said. "Do you think she knows about the rumors that surround the old cabin?" "Probably not," Jason replies. "If she did, she wouldn't be going up there alone." As Lisa rounded the top of the mountain, she thought to herself, just how far is this cabin? Suddenly the road went from gravel to dirt, and she turned into a sharp curve. She noticed that the road suddenly came to an end, and there sat in front of her the old cabin. Lisa grabbed her gym bag and started up the front porch. The porch was old and creaked with every step. As she turned the key to unlock the door, she noticed that the lock was worn, almost like it was about to fall apart. She pushed the door open, and to her surprise, there was only a couch and a rocking chair. No TV, no lamps, no nothing. "Thank God I brought my flashlight," she said. A few hours had passed and midnight had came. Lisa had just laid down to try and get some rest after the long drive, when suddenly there was a loud thud on the side of the house. She sat straight up in the bed and thought to herself, what was that? The thunder rolled across the mountain and the lightning lit up the sky. Lisa laid back again when another loud thud hit the house. She jumped up out of the bed and grabbed her flashlight. She walked over to the window and looked out. Once again the thunder rolled over the mountain and the lightning lit up the sky one more time. As the sky lit up, Lisa saw something standing at the edge of the forest. "Oh my God," she yelled. "What was that?" turning and running back into the bedroom. Lisa's mind was racing. She couldn't believe what she had just seen, but her thoughts were cut short by the sound of heavy footsteps coming up on the porch. She ran back into the living room and aimed her flashlight at the door. "Whoever's out there," she yelled, "you better go away because I have a gun." As she stood there, she could hear the heavy footsteps walking back and forth across the porch. Then the footsteps stopped. The door began to shake slowly, back and forth, as if something was pushing against it. Lisa yelled once more, Whoever you are, you need to leave because I have a gun and I will use it. Suddenly, the lock on the door broke, and it pushed open just a little. Lisa put her hand over her mouth so she wouldn't scream, not because the door started to open, but because of the large fingers that slid around the edge of the door. Do I have your attention yet? Will Lisa survive the night? Tune in next week and find out.